Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A beautiful day to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Virgin Islands Softball and Baseball Association is doing some remarkable things, of course, kicking off the Legacy Softball and Baseball Tournament, which is geared at honoring some stalwart Virgin Islanders who have made significant contributions towards the sport of softball and baseball throughout the Virgin Islands. Unfortunately, they are no longer with us, but their legacy, life, and contribution continues to live through the sport. Joining me today is Public Relations Officer Molly Penn-Maduro, who's going to break down the Legacy Tournament. In addition to that, we're talking capacity building. Softball is the national sport of the Virgin Islands. What are we doing to really preserve that sport? All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 Media.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, I am joined by Molly Penn-Maduro. Molly, thank you so much for your time and welcome back to the studios.
Thank you so much for having me, Ron.
So, of course, today we are discussing all things softball and baseball in the Virgin Islands. The VI Softball and Baseball Association have been doing some remarkable things, yes. I'd like to say, particularly with the Legacy Softball and Baseball Tournament. Let's kick things off by telling the general public, what is this tournament all about?
So the Legacy Softball Tournament is all about honoring some honorees that we have had within the sport, and those 4 members are George Shawala Burrows, Felicito Moses, teacher Cecilia Hodge, and Mr. Rene Panchi Jeffers. So these 4 persons have dedicated so much to softball in the Virgin Islands, whether it was, just being there, helping out other teams, coaching, having their own team for years. Someone like Panchi, who traveled with, softball and baseball to Atlanta for the memorial tournament every year. I mean, these are things and these are persons that have just dedicated themselves to the sport, and we found it very fitting after the newly elected board was elected for softball and baseball in 2021. We made it priority of first thing to give tribute and give remembrance to these members.
Well, I don't think you guys could have chosen a more fitting way to honor these individuals. Each of them, like you mentioned, have played a very pivotal role in the development and the continuation of the sport of softball and baseball. Whenever their names come up, their names are synonymous with the sport. Tell us about the tournament and what persons can expect.
So the tournament started in the late of 2021. We're actually on our final exciting week. We just had 2 games yesterday. Okay. So the games that were held yesterday, the winners from those games will actually play on Thursday. And then the winner from the game on Thursday will play on Saturday for the championship. And that winner will play Lock and Loaded. So Lock and Loaded is a team primarily from East End. They've been sitting on standby because they have been undefeated for the entire tournament.
Wow.
And they're just waiting to meet whoever their opponent may be. So that's Saturday. The tournament is pretty unique, and we did not keep it as a regular tournament. We tried to get more persons involved, and like Ron mentioned, it's our national sport.
Yes.
So how can we do that? So we geared up with adding in the youths. So the tournament is, you must have a youth player on each team, and then you also must have 3 female players on the field at once. And then, so it's, instead of having 9 persons on the field, you have 10 persons on the field at one time.
Wonderful. And
it's just very interesting because doing this, we've seen some great kids come out to play, be with their parents, have a lot of fun. And we have one by the name of, I think it's Demori Hodge. He actually hit the winning run for Meds & Co. to win their game to actually make it into this playoff season. So we've been seeing some really great things by putting together this tournament, and the coaches and the managers have also expressed how grateful they are to have such a memorable tournament in place for our honorees, but also bringing the kids, bringing some ladies in, and just building that vibe back for everyone.
Amazing. As you mentioned, we are in the last leg, so tell me the times again and the days so persons who want to catch the games can do so.
So this Thursday we will have one game on this Thursday, and that will start at 6 p.m. and that's at the E. Walwyn-Bruley Ballpark. And then Saturday we're having the championship game. So whoever wins on Thursday will then play Lock and Loaded on Saturday. And what we've added in for this Saturday is another Legacy member just recently, and we want to just extend condolences to the family of Jerome Hill, aka Lala. He recently passed, but we are going to honor him this weekend by having a skills challenge. So this is very new, but again, we want to get everybody out, everybody involved. So we're going to have a female home run derby, a male home run derby, and also a skills challenge to see who can throw the furthest. And that will be this Saturday starting at 6 p.m. at the E. Walwyn-Bruley Ballpark.
Amazing. I want to just talk about capacity building because, as I mentioned before, softball, baseball is the national sport of the territory of the Virgin Islands. And over the years, of course, with the evolution of other sports and, of course, technology, it somehow feels that our youth have steered away from the athletics. But softball, baseball remains one of the most prominent sports in the territory of the Virgin Islands. When we think of capacity building, what are we doing essentially, you think, or what could we be doing more to really solidify this sport and keep it alive?
So some of the things that we can definitely do is just getting our kids and our youths involved. It's not an easy task, but the road to that journey has begun. And we have persons like Daria Malone of Diamond Sporting Academy, who did a Christmas camp during the Christmas season, and now has extended that camp through this season, and it just started this week. And she's doing a camp every day of the week. You can get involved, get signed up. You can follow our Facebook page at BVI Softball to find out more information about her camp. She's doing skills building, hitting, strokes, everything that your kids may need to know about, preserving that culture of softball. And we also have Jamal Lefty Allen of the Clubbers Softball Club. He's also doing a very great camp. I went out there yesterday. I saw lots of kids out there enjoying themselves, and he has also expressed how excited the children are. So that is the steps that we're making. We have to start getting on top of those things, getting our kids out there, encourage them. Sports on a whole is a very amazing thing to be a part of, and we have started that with softball and baseball in the Virgin Islands.
Love it, and I absolutely have to commend those two individuals, Mr. Allen and Miss Malone, for their creativity in really instilling the culture of softball and baseball in after-school programs. I think it is commendable, and just like you said, it's a great way to start.
Yes.
Molly, before we go, I have to ask you, there are many persons who may be fans of the sport, they may be, just overall supporters. How can persons in the community contribute to the Virgin Islands Softball Baseball Association in any way, whether it's monetary, whether they want to assist, whether they want to volunteer? How can they get in contact with the association in order to make their contribution, whether it's on or off the field? So
thank you for that, Ron. Contributions are always great, and ways in which that you can give us a call at 284-441-1941 or 284-341-6077. You can also send us an email at visbainfo@gmail.com, or you can visit our Facebook page at BVI Softball, and you can lend us a hand and give us a contribution. We are actually seeking contributions currently to assist with our scoreboard, with some assistance with a few improvements that are needed for the National League and for softball and the youths overall. And I must say thank you to Unite BVI, who has contributed and given us a lending hand thus far with the improvements at the softball field, and also the BVI Olympic Committee for always being there for us and assisting us whenever we need that assistance to keep us going forward.
Beautiful. I want to thank you so much for your time, and again encourage you viewers to come out and support the final leg of the Legacy Softball Baseball Tournament, of course honoring the life and legacy of some of the stalwart contributors to the sport of baseball and softball in the Virgin Islands. They are no longer with us, but their life and legacy continues through the sport. For 284 Media, I'm Ron Grant. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye-bye.